What's going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome to season 2 of Everyday Struggle on Complex News. I'm Nadeska here with DJ Akademiks on our brand new set, new studio, new chairs.
New building.
New building.
It's a lot of new things going on in here, but I'm here, signed up for it. What's up with y'all?
Look, so we have to address, of course, the one thing or person missing is Joe Budden. You guys know that he won't be with us for season 2, unfortunately. I think Ak and I, we've both expressed that we wanted Joe here. We thought it was going to work out, but unfortunately things didn't.
Yeah, Joe's my guy, man. Listen, we went through a couple wars, yo, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and also together on set. So that's definitely my guy, no matter what.
All right, so look, if you want to check out some of our highlights from last year, our top 10 moments are on YouTube. But one of my favorite things about working with Joe was just the laugh. So let's look back at some of our most fun moments from 2017.
Can we get a drum roll to start? Get some energy in this bitch, Joe. Come on.
Love it when you guys get along.
Is that Rolex fake, man?
Never mind.
We feel like really rocky. Sometimes we think, yo, we hit the iceberg, we're going down, then somehow we save the shit.
Are you agreeing? Are you agreeing?
Yes!
Friend?
Wait, time out. What the fuck is this on your hat? Let me touch this motherfucker.
I had
That's
to
what
take
I'm
a break
saying,
from
is the
off-white.
fact,
What kind is this? He's wearing
happening?
YouTube couture now.
YouTube couture.
Different day, different frock. His pants are matching the frock. What's happening, Joe?
Safari time. You managed to ruin the best hat ever in a Yankee hat.
Hey, listen, fuck.
Only you would take a classic,
Fuck that hat.
perfectly fine
Hey.
Yankee hat and put
Could you
stickers
stop
and
this one?
wooden
I would
African
help you
pieces
act, but-
on the fucking hat.
Is this rich nigga attire?
I haven't
Is this what y'all buy?
I haven't seen anybody from the ASAP Mob
First-
wear it yet, so I don't know.
Content is too great here. Can this shit get off me?
What do you...
I'm out.
Where are you going?
Hey, more family.
All right, so look, I can finally wear YouTube couture with no jokes.
Man, no, listen, I just want to say, man, just watching that clip, man, Joe's my guy. He'll always be my guy. We had great moments together. We made history together. And listen, I'm just here to make more history.
Word,
Okay?
so Joe, we love you, you crazy fool. Now it's time to introduce our new host. Some of you might be familiar with him. He is a radio legend, formerly of New York City's Hot 97, Power 105. You may know him from the Star and Buck Wild Morning Show. Star, the legend, welcome to the struggle.
How are you? Good morning.
Should we shake on it?
Yes, nice
So it's
gel
official?
tips, nice.
Yes.
Okay, you look
Thank
great in
you.
the morning.
I appreciate it.
You already know. What up, my man?
Academics. Salute. Don't try to pull me. Salute,
hold on.
salute,
My
salute.
God.
The firm
All right.
handshake.
My guy.
My God, my God. All right, all right.
All right, man.
I'm honored. All right. I'm losing money, but I'm honored. Okay.
Well,
And
look at-
Star in the Morning also. Never mind that old shit, from back in the days. All right.
I just had to give you the little nostalgic
Thank
welcome,
you.
but
Thank you. I'm excited. Let's chop this up. Let's have some fun. Objective perspective is what I bring to the table. All right.
You're bringing hate.
And
Just let's be honest, right?
Objective.
Let's be
Objective.
honest. Okay, we could say objective.
Yeah.
But I think after losing Joe, I think Complex said we got to get a hater.
Joe's a good guy, but
Well, a lot of people think he's a hater. So they said we got to get the ultimate hater.
Joe is a player hater. Yeah, I can break that down, but I'm not here to take shots at Joe. Joe's a great guy.
Great guy, that's my guy. But you're a hater too.
Listen carefully.
A different type of
Are
hater.
you listening? Objective hater. There's a difference between objective and player hating. And I say that respectfully to Joe, but Joe is a very accomplished MC and a rapper. So he would always be biased. I'm not biased with regards to anything that I say. I got no friends. I don't give a fuck about nobody with regards to the genre, or as you would say, the culture.
All right, so you're not here to make friends.
I'm here to do what it is that I do.
He's a liar.
All
As
right,
soon
let's
as Rick
go.
Ross sends him $2, he's sold. Trust
No,
me.
that would actually be a form of payola. I don't accept gifts.
We're not on the radio, sir. We're definitely on YouTube.
Payola is payola. I don't accept gifts. No.
FCC's not
I never
watching.
have. Diddy used to send me champagne, all that fly shit back in the days. That's not my thing.
All right, no gifts.
Man
We're
of
just
integrity,
here.
I
We're
like
here to
it.
debate. Let's start light-ish. So Drake, back this weekend, he dropped his Scary Hours EP. 2 new songs, God's Plan and Diplomatic Immunity. Let's start with God's Plan. Is this a hit, Ak?
God's Plan is absolutely a smash hit. This is a song that I've jammed out to the snippet. I think it's now real telling that rappers could realize that their songs are hits before they put them out just by 15-second clips or maybe like 30 seconds. If the fans are kind of reacting to it and they're demanding it, give it to him, and it's usually going to be a hit. God's Plan, absolute smash. It was supposed to feature Trippie Redd, a guy who I also like, but he wasn't on it. But the song is just phenomenal. I think this should be a hit. My only thing with this is going to be, how does the label play this going forward? Because as we saw,
Are you a Drake fan or stan?
I'm a Drake fan, but an objective one, and I
Really?
can see you
I don't
jumping
think
in
you are, but
already.
continue.
But
Come on,
let
come
me
on,
speak.
come on.
Okay. Now, it depends on how the label plays it. With More Life, they didn't really push all those singles the way they could.
Right.
Like Passion Fruit should be a top 20 single dominant for most of the year. It wasn't clear, there was no label support, and we'll see how this how these songs are treated, because we do know he has an album coming up.
So why do you think he's
Okay.
not objective right off the bat?
Why do you think or why are you questioning?
Well,
if I'm
you're
Drake?
now hanging in the studio with Tekashi, yes? You're hanging with rappers in the studio. Yeah.
I'm recording a tape.
No, you're hanging in the studio with rappers. So clearly your perspectives are clouded. You're being influenced now by a friendship. And he took a shot at you in the studio, yes?
Is it being, first of all, I can't believe you're the master of trolling. You can't realize trolling.
No, I didn't say master. I'm the father of trolling.
Okay, I can't believe you're the father of
Going
trolling. You
back to
can't
the
realize
early
your
90s,
grandsons.
Starring Buck Wild. What'd you say?
I can't believe you're the grandfather or the father of trolling. You can't realize your sons and your grandsons. You should know trolling when you see it, okay?
I clearly do.
But here's the thing. Me being, my come up was solely not around anything industry. Now I'm in this position. I'm with
I trolled
Complex.
your come up. I salute your come up.
Okay.
I have respect
However,
for you.
so you're
But
telling
you're
me
now in the studio hanging with rappers, yes?
I'm recording tracks, yes.
You're in the studio hanging with rappers, yes?
Nigga, I've been in the studio. What's wrong?
He's being evasive.
No, wait.
Come on.
Are
wait,
we saying that's
this-
affecting his judgment already in terms
Clearly,
of debating?
clearly.
On
You're-
Drake?
Well, let's focus on
Me and
Tekashi
Drake-
for a second. Let's go.
Okay.
So you're in the studio.
Is Tekashi a topic today?
Tekashi even took a shot at you and called you a little pump dick rider. Did he not?
It's trolling. Do you know what trolling is?
I'm the father of trolling. Let's not play
Okay,
games.
that's what I'm saying.
We're talking about you hanging in the fucking studio.
Nigga, I've been in the
So
studio.
he's
What
been
up?
in the studio. He has a mumble rap tape coming established.
I got a nigga
right?
in denial
And
on
we're
the
gonna
first
get-
goddamn
No,
day.
I'm telling you what it is. So I've been in the studio.
telling
What
me
does that
shit,
mean?
but
Make
it's
the
okay,
next
come on.
point. Like you're stagnating. Make the next point. I've been in the studio. Yes. What does
Okay.
that mean?
It clouds your judgment. I've never in my life hung out in the studio with a rapper. So if we're going to talk about being objective, not allowing yourself to be committed or biased, as I just said, it clouds your judgment. But you're not a rapper anyway, yes?
Hold on. But clouding your judgment would mean, and even bias would mean that I'm clearly only for that particular person. I've probably critiqued, and most of the people who, and this is like the misconception, the people who I like the most, I usually critique the most.
That's a cute way of saying dick riding in the studio.
No, it's not.
Okay.
If the people I like the
Where we
most,
going?
Where are we
if
going?
the
Let's
people
go to-
if the people I like the most, I'm critiquing. I critique Drake
Listen,
the
I
most.
got
of
no
anyone.
problem with you hanging
That's
in the
why we're
studio.
actually segueing into this topic
Right,
where
right. Come on.
Drake has
Let's go
actually
to
took a
yeah,
shot at
let's-
shit we said
Right.
on this show.
Diplomatic
Come on.
immunity. Let's talk about this track
Yeah.
then. Who's he taking shots at here, Ak?
He's clearly taking shots at Joe. He's taking shots really at the program Everyday Struggle, which we critique and we discuss rappers, usually music, but we also extend into stuff they do outside of music, their labels and just music business, I would say probably generally. He's taking shots at Joe, but I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know if he was taking shots at me, but I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it because there was a line there,
Tell us
and I have
the
to bring
line.
it. I'm gonna bring the line
Tell
up.
us the line.
Like we could go through the lines.
Let's
By
go.
the way,
He's thirsty for a shout out. Come on.
you're damn right because all the whack rappers been dissing me. So finally, one of the best rapper
Thank you
like.
for admitting that you're thirsty. Come on, give us a line.
Okay, weren't you thirsty for that Jay shout out?
No. I'll break that down later. Come on.
You bragged about it a bunch, but okay.
It
All right.
come on.
Okay. All right.
Let's go.
Okay, so he starts off by saying this, okay? And by the way, our producer, he's sitting over there, Chops, which is OVO Chops. He's in denial
Chops,
that
what up, man?
this wasn't a shot at Complex as well. So Drake says, shit is complex, like short niggas around tall ladies. I gotta watch who I'm talking to, like it's all ages. I've seen budding careers turn to sit around and talk about other careers, judging their peers, knowledge from niggas who didn't contribute to none of this here. Now, clearly, we understand the parts about Joe, which is I've seen budding careers play off his last name, turn around and sit and talk about other careers, whatever. But I'm gonna take the line that says knowledge from niggas who didn't contribute to none of this here. Now, you could also speak to that too, because you already said you haven't been in the studio. You've never rapped a day in your life. Have you rapped?
The only thing I've ever rapped in my life is a sandwich.
Okay,
but
good.
Are we now discussing the
Are
lines?
you rapping sandwiches? Why are you rapping sandwiches, Star?
Are we discussing the line that you hope is directed towards you?
I hope or I know. Like Drake doesn't
You
say
know?
names.
Okay.
Drake doesn't say names. So you have to really you have to analytically place who he's taking shots at, and he's very calculated.
So when you analyze this, are you taking this as a compliment then?
It's not a compliment, but it's a check. And I know some people be like, hey, how could you be a fan of someone who would check you on a record? But to me, I thought it was almost a hats off or an acknowledgement to where I have actually came to.
Okay.
Okay? Now, honestly, I will say just overall with the track, right? And I won't even focus on the Joe lyrics. I think this was still Drake being defensive at criticisms he's faced since being exposed with the ghostwriting thing. Now, there's
With
a lot of...
regards to XXXTentacion, yes?
No. With even Meek. No, I'm talking about Meek.
Can I jump in? You said a lot. You like bird shit. You're all over the place. Now, I'm nobody's fan, but Drake is a phenomenal writer. And he's a very good performer as well. I've seen him perform live. Now, objectively speaking, and I don't want to go back too far, but, the first season, you guys... You were literally on Drake's cock. I think you did like 7 or 8 segments about Drake. So he fires
The hottest rapper in the game. It's like ESPN told
hang
about
on.
LeBron, dog.
He fires a shot back at you. Now we're sitting here and you're thirsty to see if he really acknowledged you. Now, I like Joe, but that has nothing to do with nothing. Joe can get it as well. Joe is, as I said before, he's a great MC and he's a great rapper. But Joe took it personal. He dragged it out, and then Drake, took a shot at Joe, which Joe has already spoken about. I don't want to go back into that whole thing. And now it's blossomed into something else. Me personally, I've never been thirsty for a fucking shout out, as you would say, on a goddamn diss track.
Hold on.
Cut
that short.
Jay-Z,
I've heard you brag for years.
I'm trying to explain it to you, young man. I say young man respectfully. Jay-Z, the greatest fucking rapper, called my name in his song. It was a badge of honor. But was I sitting around trying to decipher it? No, it happened. Shit happens.
Did you brag about it?
What do you mean brag?
Did you bring it up in conversation?
I acknowledge
Did you bring
the greatest
it
rapper
up in conversation to say, this guy who's at the top of the genre...
Brag, no. I don't have to brag because, again, I'm not trying to, be friends with niggas like that. So it's not about bragging hey, I got a shout out.
Brag to your own audience. Brag to your own audience to be like, listen, I was so impactful in the game that the greatest rapper at the time...
It's not about bragging. To me, it's just
You
business.
might not call it bragging, but...
To me, it's just business. I think to you, it's more of a emotional connection.
I think it's a mix of both for me.
Okay.
For you, it might just be
Call it
business.
what you want. I mean, there's other people. Nori shouted me out in the track Grimy. The Jizza shouted me out in one of his Liquid Swords albums, I think it was. But do I sit around, stroking my cock because somebody called my name? No. Drake didn't call your name. It's nothing, my nigga. It's nothing.
So you can't brag if it's a sub. It has to be a direct.
Well, I'm not gonna
name
lie.
calling.
I'm definitely taking it as a reference to. When has Drake
Are you
called
gonna
a name?
put the quote in your bio?
No. When has Drake called a name?
Why are
Okay.
you on Drake's cock?
Okay, first of all, Drake didn't even call Joe's name.
Why are you on Drake's cock? Never mind him calling your fucking name. Why are you on his cock?
How am I on his cock?
No, I said, why are you on his cock?
Wait, how?
You were on his cock last season. Again. So why are you still on it?
Wait. Discussing the hottest rapper in the game. And I'm sorry,
Who's not fucking with you, by the way?
Okay, who cares if he is or not?
You care.
No, I don't.
You care. We're sitting here talking about you care.
No, we're talking about a song he just put out, which he may have referenced the show. It's like, honestly, I don't care if he gave me a shout out or this.
Are you getting paid off that song?
No.
Did your price go up?
No, it's an acknowledgement. The price did go up.
The price went up.
The price went up.
Okay.
I can't beef with SoundCloud rappers no more. The biggest rapper in the game may have acknowledged me. I told a SoundCloud rapper in my phone yesterday.
Listen, I fuck with you. I'm here to support you. I'm losing money, but I'm here. Let me just stress that again. But here's the thing. I don't think it's that deep. It's a nice little, I guess, subliminal. I don't do subliminals. If you can't call my name, fuck out of here.
Drake never called a name. Has he ever called Meek's name?
Young Buck from G Unit. He took a subliminal at me I think it was 2012. Fuck out of here, nigga. Call my name. Call my name. I'm worth getting a fucking, as you would say, a shout out. There's nothing here. There's nothing here.
Star, you're out of date, bro. There's nobody.
What?
You're outdated, my nigga. Nobody's getting on records.
I'm current.
Who the fuck is getting on records and really saying names unless they need the attention? Most of these guys, they're not trying to give you the attention, so they're gonna
I'm current. Not only am I current, but you're thirsty. You're thirsty now. You're in the studio doing everything against what you started out doing.
Yo, let's wait for his tape to
believe
come.
that?
I'm sure it's gonna be
How about
excellent.
we not? How about we
It's gonna
not?
be excellent.
Hey, listen, Star.
He's gonna be beefing with the whole game.
Listen, Star has to watch me. I'm gonna be what Star never got to be.
Really? And what would that be?
They don't.
I got paid. I cashed out. How about you?
I mean,
I mean-
are you sure I'm not cashing out now?
What's that? You're not.
All right, you guys want to move on to the next topic?
That's why I'm
Don't
here.
worry, we got things for you to argue about.
No, you're here for the
Get,
show.
get a close up on the face.
No.
I'm losing fucking money
You're here for the
Let's
show.
go.
You're not here for me.
Hey,
Trust me.
let's take our time with it. I got all the time. I got time for the dumb shit.
This
Look, me
relationship
too.
is already
Please.
blossoming. All right, guys, let's talk about Kodak Black. So he was already under house arrest for violating his probation. A lot of legal charges pending, and then his house in Florida got raided on Thursday, and he was arrested.
Yeah.
This was captured on Instagram Live.
The gram.
On the gram, he's
The gram,
facing
the gram.
multiple charges: grand theft of a firearm, child neglect, possession of marijuana, counts of 2 counts of a weapons possession by a felony, 2 counts of probation violation. There's a lot going on here, man. Like, is it over for Kodak?
May I first?
Go ahead.
Okay. The term snitching now takes a backseat to tattletaling. Everybody's a fucking tattletale. You and I discussed this briefly, before we sat down here with regards to who you thought and who I thought, actually notified the authorities. Are the police or any type of investigative unit sitting around watching certain people on the gram?
Yes.
Maybe. But you more so now have a generation of tattletales that will very quickly say, hey, I got somebody who I fuck with heavy, but here's what he or she is doing. And yes, I like his flow, his execution, but somebody needs to be the so-called designated thug within the crew to say, hey, you know what? We're sitting here, we're smoking weed, we got guns out, you got charges, my nigga, and this kid's running around. Somebody should have thought of that first before.
One of the
now,
thugs? Are you
before
kidding?
claiming now that police yada yada, as if what they did wasn't wrong. It was wrong. It was wrong. Do you agree with that?
No, I agree with that.
Please.
So, my take is that number one, you've been on radio in the New York market for years. You should be very familiar with hip hop police.
Yeah.
I don't believe that hip hop police is running around in the streets anymore. I think most of the investigation for all police actually is done online. And a guy like Kodak Black, who seems to can't keep himself out of trouble, and by the way, a guy who I'm a big fan of, he's on Instagram Live for 90% of his day. So if I believe the cops in Florida, who, by the way, Florida is very different from many other states, they don't take no shit. If they, because we always say the feds are watching, why wouldn't they just sit there and watch this
The
nigga basically-
tattletales are watching. Also, Kodak Black just issued a fucking statement to all the rappers in Florida that he was the guy, right? A couple of weeks prior.
Yeah.
So he's got tattletales.
No.
That
Stick
are
to
heated
that
with
one
him.
point first.
What's that?
So why would we not assume that the police was watching? We don't have to say it's the fans. It could have been the fans, but we have to, and this is what my problem with him is, you should be on Instagram Live acting like the police is watching. Keep in
Exactly.
mind,
Yeah.
just to give some context, the police saw something on Instagram Live before he got off live. By the way, there's an hour limit before, if you're on live for an hour,
Right.
it kicks you off. He didn't get kicked off. So in an hour, they called the judge, got a search warrant, got a bunch of troops, went to his house, and then they were still on live. I don't think that's a fan calling into to the local precinct.
Well, I don't
I
wanna-
think that's the cops watching this shit and saying, this nigga can't be this dumb. We've been had a warrant. Let's go get that
Clearly,
gun.
he was that dumb. Clearly, he was that dumb. So now I don't know if we're gonna just waste time about
Okay, we can move past that.
who actually notified
We
the
can move past
authorities.
that.
He did some fuck nut shit. He's sitting there with the kid, got the burner out, and talking reckless. So now I think again it's a generation of tattletales, and it's going to continue. Combined with the fact that in today's legal world, they are trying to take lyrics from songs and hang you on the fucking lyrics.
On lyrics and everything you do that
Cracker
you put on
took
social.
my 40 and I'm about to go buy a Draco. So he's talking that hot shit. So I can't sit here and say, oh, free Kodak. I can't say that, man. I mean, I enjoy the monkey shit. I mean, but I can't sit here and act like, what he was doing gets a fucking pass, regardless of who snitched, tattletailed, or whatever.
And I agree with you. I think Kodak is
Don't
going
agree with
through.
me. Don't
No.
agree with me.
I
Do
have
you?
to agree with you because I
Okay.
really do. I'm not gonna just be a contrarian just to be. But what Kodak is going through is what we've seen over the years. Kodak Black is not someone who takes direction, and you could understand a hood nigga who comes up, gets a lot of money, and he has a bunch of other hood niggas around him. There is no more big homie. A lot of times, you're getting all the money. You're the big homie. So is one of Kodak's friends who are goons themselves. These are not business people. He's not, I've always said he's too hood for the industry. He's not keeping people who are thinking, yo, you're a celebrity around you. He's keeping other niggas around him. They're not going to correct him. So we've seen where Master P tried to go around him. We've seen other people try to give him direction. Even someone else who's been embattled in other legal troubles himself, like X was trying to talk to him and say, hey, watch out for shit. He's not listening to people. Yeah. He's been in and out of jail, and this time I'm hoping it'll change. But shit, we saw with even Gucci, it took a while for him to change. It took really some spiritual and soul searching for him to change. So I don't know exactly what will happen here. I'm hoping he doesn't get locked up for a long time.
But you are a Kodak Black fan.
I'm a fan of his music.
Okay, so being that you've admitted that you're a fanatic and you don't really see clearly sometimes.
No,
hang on. You just admitted you're a fan
of his music.
Whatever, fan about his actions, his music, it's all the same thing
in
today's world.
No, it's not.
Just give me a second. Being that you've admitted that you are biased with regards to him as an artist. I'll even call him an artist.
Let me ask you one question.
Can I finish my fucking thought?
Hold on. If anyone's a fan,
can I finish my fucking thought?
Before you just try to say anyone who's a fan is biased. So you're saying a fan of a person.
You're biased now. You started out being objective. Now you're hanging in the studios, but that's something different. Let me just finish up Kodak Black. So he did some dumb shit. Now, are people supposed to rally and say, free Kodak? That was some dumb shit, man. Some dumb shit.
I never said someone's supposed to say. I actually never say free anyone.
Okay.
I got to see what the facts are. Okay. I got to see what the facts are again.
I'll give you the last word.
I got to see what the facts are. Listen, Kodak Black obviously has been living wrong. This was all started, and I think this is a lesson. I even saw Safari said it, and people don't really like Safari, so they clown him. But
you're referencing Safari.
No. Well, you can't
They have a Jamaican
be beefing on Instagram
Jamaican
Live.
or Jafakan? What'd you say?
No,
what'd you say?
Yo, you can't be beefing on Instagram Live and expect only the people you're talking to see. There's other people watching, and you got to be aware.
Okay. So he's going to be locked up for a while, it seems. Felony charges.
Denied bail.
Right, denied bail. So let's see what happens with Kodak. On to another one of your favorites, XXXTentacion. So look, we were off the air for a while. Ak was super busy on Twitch doing God's work. So he did a 3-hour interview.
Twitch was new everyday struggle for a while. I'm not gonna lie, man. Listen, I had to put in the work. I had to put the work in.
3 hours with XXXTentacion. Yeah. I believe Star actually watched the entire 3 hours.
I watched the entire.
Props to you.
I'm sorry, go ahead, finish up.
Well, so we're just gonna start with this Tupac segment. A lot of new kids seem to have an issue with Pac or just don't respect his legacy. So I thought very generously tried to ask him, will your music or art go somewhere else? Sort of like Tupac, and he got very upset. Let's take a look.
You're an artist. Does your art, will it go elsewhere? Will it go to, like for example with Tupac, his art was more than music. We saw him, he was a writer, he was a poet.
I've been there. Bro, I'm better than Tupac, bro. Please don't compare me to him. Please don't compare me to him. Please don't. Tupac can't make rock music. Tupac can't do that.
Wait,
Tupac couldn't do that.
Hold on.
Tupac didn't do that. Tupac was a dancer and a poet and a rapper.
But he was a revolutionary too and a leader of men.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. There's plenty of revolutionaries.
This seemed like a pretty harmless question. I'm confused about why he got so upset. But does XXXTentacion have a body of work to compare with a legend like Tupac already?
No. Let me just jump here for a second. All right, so I watched this 3-hour expose that you did with him.
Expose, you call it?
I call it expose
That's nice.
Because he was actually, he's an actor. I usually don't go after younger rappers when they come out the gate. I like to give them a chance. Yeah, he's a rapper, not quite yet an artist. He doesn't have a body of work that we can look at and assess. Tupac put in a lot of work in a short period of time. He died when he was how old?
25.
And what he did was very impactful, and he was a great actor. This guy's an actor too. And again, I watched the entire fucking interview, not because I'm here with you guys, but because this is what I do. I want to see where the younger generation is going.
By the way, this kid's 19.
What's that?
He's 19. So
exactly. And Basquiat, he is not. So what he has tried to accomplish, he's doing some great things. I like the track with him and Trippie Redd. It's called what? Fuck Love.
Fuck Love, yes.
Great song. But he's a suicide hustler. He's talking about he's got fans. He's telling them not to commit suicide. He says in that 3-hour expose that he tried to kill himself numerous times. How do you try numerous times? I mean, that's a very sensitive area. I don't want to clown anybody who has indeed killed themselves. But he's a suicide
Are you
hustler.
saying he's not genuine about saying that? 'Cause I believe he's 100% genuine.
I think he's an attention seeker, not an attention whore just yet. I want to give him time to develop. I'm not just going to take shots because he sat on the Skype with you for 3 fucking hours. Who the fuck has a conversation with another guy for 3 hours? If you're not doing a documentary, that's weirdo shit.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna bring you up to date again.
Come on.
This is not a sit-down interview. He's in the comfort of his home.
I said you were Skyping.
Yeah. So it's a conversation.
Yeah.
You've never talked to a friend, associate
no.
for 3 hours?
A male, 8 minutes. Fuck out of here. And if I'm interviewing somebody, there is a limit. 35 minutes. You sat there for 3 hours. He worked you like a chicken bone in Harlem, my man. He did. He's giving you the dreamy eyes. Then he starts pouting. You're sitting there sucking your shit up.
Star. Because I know your background. I don't know if legendary. You're a legend.
Fuck that old shit.
No, wait.
Let's talk about now.
Okay, we'll talk about
the
now.
old shit.
You're a legendary radio personality, but I don't know if you're a legendary.
I don't need you sucking my dick about the past. Talk about now.
Because I'm not.
It sounds like it.
You're not a legendary interviewer, okay? And if you
Says who?
Wait, are you a legendary
no.
interviewer? All right, let's just say
no.
Let's just say none.
That's not.
Okay.
You're putting words in my mouth.
You sound
you're putting words in my mouth. No,
All right, let's see what he has to say.
You're not a legendary interviewer. You're a shock jock, right?
So say you.
Now,
continue.
When you have interviews with people, you have to approach it differently. And some people you got to challenge because they're whatever. Right. Some people, you just give them the platform, you set them up. Right. That's what it is. He didn't work me. If you watch the interview,
he worked you.
I said in the first 30 seconds, I said, don't talk to me like your fans, because I know a lot of your fans buy into this. What X is someone who, I don't think his fans like his music more than they like him. He sells an ideology. Yeah. And when someone sells an ideology, like
flawed ideology, but go ahead.
Okay, but regardless, an ideology, right? And he even refers to what his fan base, or what he's called his family, as a cult, okay? So when he's speaking these either theories or his point of view almost as if they're facts, and that's why his fans really gravitate towards it. It's not my job, and we don't get this clip, if I don't give him the platform to get these things out. Now, again, this is why we're here on this show, where we could, because by the way, I didn't agree with what he said. Right. Tupac, to me, is the greatest artist of all time. And by the way, before, when you were talking about I'm jaded or I might be biased because I'm a fan.
I didn't say jaded.
No, you said fan.
Now
you said biased. You said biased.
You're emotional. Come on back.
No, you said biased.
You are now.
We have to point out the difference between me and you. You have admitted on record that you're not a fan of hip hop. Period. So what?
Come on.
Is that true? I'm just trying to.
I'm not a fan of anyone's, any artist, nor the culture as you call it, nor the genre. I critique it objectively.
Are you a fan of hip hop music?
I'm a fan of no one and no genre. Now, get to your point.
Okay, I was saying, because you have said that other genres are your favorite.
And that's what makes me unique. Get to your point.
Good.
Yeah.
I do like hip hop. I love hip hop.
Yeah.
So I am going to be fans of people who make great
that's
music.
Why you're
I don't
biased.
have to. No, because I like the music. I don't like everything they say or do otherwise. What he said here, to me, is just completely incorrect. I think he lacks information, and while you might berate him, I think this is an opportunity to teach and for people to come to him and be like, yo, the way you're thinking of Tupac, because, and you have to realize what he said. He said, Tupac couldn't make rock music. Now, let's explain what X is. X is an artist who dabbles in multiple genres. I heard last night he has a fucking, Spanish calypso song coming out. He's done rock, country. He's done almost some shit sound like heavy metal.
And he has to know that
shit.
rap has changed, that he could do that now. At that point, it would have been weird for him.
And I agree with you.
What did you tell him? For people who didn't see the full interview, what was your response to him on this?
My response is that if you're going to discredit Tupac was much more than just, in your opinion, a guy
you
who...
pointed out to him, and I give you credit, you pointed out to him that Tupac was a revolutionary.
Yes.
That's when he went ape shit and said, fuck that. Now, let's go back for a second. I have no problem with how...
And I won't defend him on that.
Let's go back for a second. I have no problem with how you dragged out the conversation and allowed him to speak.
Okay.
That's not what I was critiquing. I'm talking about him making these hardline statements and then contradicting himself. Now, if we're talking about interviewing, everybody has a different style. My style was interviewing an artist one time, and that's it. One time, because I don't want you to think that because every time you have a brand new fucking project out, you're gonna come up to the goddamn platform, whatever platform that was, and I'm gonna sit there and stroke your cock. So that's the difference between interviewing styles. What you do is different, but don't act like, I haven't interviewed every fucking body out here. Everybody. Now, let's go back to this guy for a second. Again, he's a hustler. I got no problem with that, but let's call it what it is.
No, I was going to backtrack on the point of an interview, but I won't. Let's stick to okay, so you think he's a suicide hustler, according to you.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I believe his issues that he's going through, he's a very bipolar person. I believe they're genuine. Do I believe he realizes the power in the connection he has with the people who have similarities to him? Absolutely. But do I think he's solely selling or exploiting suicide as a way to manipulate fans? Absolutely not. I won't agree with you.
And that's fine. But he said during that interview / expose.
I call conversation, but go ahead.
No, that's fine. That's fine. If he killed himself, he guaranteed other people will follow him. That's sucker shit, man. That's sucker shit. Now, let me point out why he's delusional. He's got Kurt Cobain's cock in his mouth. Kurt Cobain was a Caucasian heroin addict who hated himself and hated society. And that's why he blew his brains out with the shotgun. This guy makes a reference to rock and roll. Here's the difference between rock and roll in case you don't know. Rock and roll.
Is that your favorite genre?
What's that?
Is that your favorite genre of music?
Let me finish the point, all right? Rock and roll is the fight against the establishment by the babies of the establishment. Hip-hop is the fight against, hip-hop is more so the fight of the disenfranchised to be treated like humans in society. So it's two different fucking fights. I don't have to sit here and dump on the guy and call him a fucking fraud, but to a certain extent he is.
Well, again, he said, and throughout the interview, he said a lot of stuff that I definitely disagree with. It's interesting to hear artists like him give that perspective, but I disagree with a lot of what he said. Keep in mind, though, he is 19. Again, what I will say, he does seem like someone who is trying to be out of the box of what most artists are. I'm not saying he has everything right, and I'm not saying like I agree with most of the shit he says, but he's 19. I would like to see him, and it's the same thing with Pac. When Pac died, a lot of people have a lot of...
So his comments about being better than Pac, let's just wrap it up. How do you feel?
No, not in the same discussion. You have way more to do, young man, and you might think you more talented. Yeah. That's a different discussion, if you think you're more talented. Right. But you got to put it on paper, put it out there, let us consume. Let us be the judge.
All right. So you said he obviously doesn't do a lot of press, and this was a very long interview. So just before we move on, anything else interesting you learned? What happened with him in the deal? He said he was done making music. Is that still a thing, or is he back on?
Yeah, again, he's bipolar. And when we deal with...
Don't make excuses for him.
No. This is very important to know. No, this is very important to know because in a decade or two ago, that wasn't a thing that people really considered.
That's right.
We're seeing most of these artists now who sometimes they're hooked on drugs because of whatever.
How do you know he's bipolar?
I mean, he's been clinically diagnosed.
Oh, he told you?
No, if you follow his case, you will see all these things come up.
Okay.
Right? I follow his situation pretty closely, right? So because of that, he has mental issues. Okay? And he's admitted that too. He's admitted it. I'm bipolar. He's actually told me that verbatim too. So again, we have to treat this a little bit delicately. We can't just treat this like, okay, this is just a guy off the deep end. Because mental issue, at least in this time and age, it's something we have to
So it's not a big deal then, him saying he's better than Tupac, he's bipolar, and we should all just move on.
No. Well, we don't have to demonize him, but we could throw out trash ass like opinions. You're better than Pac? No, nigga.
Okay.
But we still like your music.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, good. We agree? All right, let's talk about Lil Pump. So he had a big year.
You know who Lil Pump is, man?
What's that?
You know who Lil Pump is?
I know Lil Pump is the guy who you dick ride, according to Tekashi.
Oh my God, this guy.
Sorry. All right, so
hey, right or wrong? Dick ride is your the same way how Joe used trash. He used dick.
Did Tekashi call you a Lil Pump dick rider?
By the way, Tekashi's a...
Answer the question.
He said that, but he's a troll.
You. Continue on, please.
All right, so Lil
I could
Pump.
point out a bunch of things he said, which is trolling.
All right, look, Gucci Gang was one of Act's favorite songs of 2017. Pump had a huge year. He apparently had a deal with Warner Brothers. Now they're saying he got out of that deal because he signed when he was underage. He was 16 at the time, so now he's apparently shopping around for other labels. And he got an Instagram Live to just say, look, I'm not fucking with any labels for anything less than 12 to 15 million. If you guys think you can get me lower, basically get out of here. Do you think Warner Brothers is kicking themselves for this right now? And is Pump gonna get a 12 to 15 million dollar deal?
I'll go first on this one. Pump is just playing the game. He has good people behind him in terms of like managers and business people, just trying to work the game and soliciting the highest offer possible. When he signed, he was not nearly the guy who made Gucci Gang, not nearly the guy with almost 7 or 8 million followers. And of course, he signed to a deal that was not worth as much. His people around him got him out of the deal because he signed when he was a child. And now they're just trying to test the open market. So they're gonna throw out there, we're soliciting deals for 20 million. In reality, from what I've heard, it's around 5. It's less than 5 actually now. And they're just working the system. So I have no problem with what he's doing. I think it's just important for the fans to know what you're being told by the artist in terms of when Pump says, you know what, the price just went up because whatever.
So the question is, do you think Warner Brothers is kicking themselves and because of the fact that they were caught on a clause or stipulation in the contract, court-approved contract, by the way, which was not court-approved, do you think that the label is
Okay, I could address that.
taking the
I'll just
loss?
now, I'll throw to you.
Come on.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're trying to.
I don't think so. What's that?
Well, if they weren't, if that was true, they wouldn't be trying to go through these means of trying to retain him or trying to make sure he doesn't sign to someone else. They dumped a bunch of promotion money into the kid. They dropped an album into him, and they really thought that, I'm not saying they're thinking he was going to last for 10 years, but for the next 3 to 5 years, they thought this could be the guy that we have, right? And they put that much effort, money, time, whatever, resources into it, and to see that guy just walk away, including with the masters of his project,
Let me jump in.
That's a loss.
Okay, let me jump in as someone who did work for record labels, for about close to 8 years before I ever got on radio.
Which is a different decade.
Court-approved, it doesn't matter, court-approved contracts.
It's a different time.
Open your ears.
I am.
Court-approved contracts have to be presented in front of a judge, and you have to explain to that judge what you're doing with the fucking minor. He was a minor when he signed the contract. It doesn't matter if it was fucking the 60s, 70s, or 80s. Shit has changed with regards to protecting minors. Any lawyer from a corporation who sits in front of a judge and specifies, hey, Your Honor, this kid's gonna be talking about fucking bitches, doing Zanny and Molly and so on and so forth.
Why would the label say that? Like, that's up to the artist. Why would the label go there like,
I'm explaining to you
okay,
what a court-approved, the process of a court-approved contract.
which you have.
Warner
Why would the
Warner
label
Brothers, you're
have
not
to explain
listening.
his
You're not
content?
listening. You're talking, and you're saying a lot, but you ain't saying shit. Warner Brothers did not go through that process. They took a gamble. It's a gamble. Now, they got caught out there. They got caught out there.
From what I was...
And it may appear that they're trying to retain Lil Pump. They're trying to get him back now because he's older. But now, are they going to actually file a lawsuit or an injunction against him to stop him from going elsewhere? No.
I have heard from people within...
You haven't heard shit that's legal. You heard gossip.
No, well, I've heard from industry executives.
You're big on the gossip, too. But come on.
They're planning to file an injunction. He hasn't signed a deal. You can't file an injunction when nigga doesn't have a deal in. But if he tries to sign a deal today, there will be an injunction from Warner Brothers and guaranteed
and they're
by
going to
4
have
o'clock.
to go back in front of a judge and explain to a judge why they're trying to stop this minor who they once upon a time sunk money into, as you just said, and promoted to do all of this outlandish shit and to say all this crazy shit. They would look crazy in front of a judge. They're going to take the fucking loss and keep it pushing.
They're not taking this lightly. They're definitely not taking this lightly.
You're a little Pump fan. You think he's going to bounce back. You think he hasn't shot his load, right?
No.
I think he's the new Cray Sean. He shot his fucking load.
I don't think you're listening.
Gucci Gang was it?
I don't think you're listening because the point I'm making is not
saying shit.
It's not for Lil Pump. It's actually for the label. I'm saying that the label did fuck up in that technicality that got him out of here.
The label knew what they were doing.
However, the label is not just taking a loss and be like, we'll just take the L. No, they're gonna protect what they've invested in. And even if it's fleeting at this point, they're gonna try. That's not for Pump.
Okay.
If I was Dick Ryan Pump, I would say sign Pump to $12 million, Columbia, Interscope, whoever else. He's deserved that. He's not.
What you're saying sounds great from a fan's perspective, but you're negating the fact that the label did not go through the process to get that contract presented in front of a judge. so the judge could sign off on it.
How am I negating that?
That's how court-approved contracts work. What don't you understand?
But how am I negating it? I didn't deny that. I was just saying
You're
the label.
You're speculating. You're giving hypotheticals.
Star. It's not difficult
contract.
to figure if you dump $2-3 million into an artist's career and he takes all that promotion. He's doing tours. He's now on a different plateau when you initially found him. You signed him for a shitty deal. His deal's on the internet.
All of Little Pump songs are how long?
That has nothing to do with this. But okay, it's about like 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah.
What's up?
Less than 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
So I don't think he's got that much else to give. I think he shot his load. That's just my opinion. But I'm not trying to.
And I'm not defending.
I'm not trying to
defending
shit
his
on the guy.
longevity.
What I'm saying to you is back to the point. Is Warner Brothers upset about losing this commodity? He was a fucking commodity.
Yeah, but he has 2 to 3 more years that they could benefit off of him.
Okay, so that's where you're
So wait, why am I gonna give? I invested in him. Now he takes all that worth and goes to another label. And okay, let's say he only has two
You're
years
a real
left.
fanatic for the kid. There's nothing
No, all
anybody
right,
can say
hold
to
on.
you.
Let me ask a question here. So
You're
what
not
are
seeing the
we
point.
predicting the 2 to 3 years based off? So of course Gucci Gang was huge.
Okay.
You put out the Lil Pump tape. Did you like that? Where do you think he stands musically right now?
I fuck with Pump. And this is
You
where
want to fuck Pump?
No, this guy's ridiculous. what he doesn't get is
Well,
that
you want Pump to fuck you? He's one or the other.
I'm not defending Pump. Pump to me, honestly, maybe 2 years, 3 years max at his peak now.
Okay.
Other than that, afterwards we're gonna be thinking like he was a thing, right? So I'm only thinking from the label perspective. So if I put money into you thinking I'm gonna get 4 years out of you, and I only get a year, and now you have 3 years left on like your shelf life, and another label gets it, I'm salty because I made that investment. It's like you like sitting there with a chick, or you sitting there with a guy, put in your terms, and that guy is like hustling to try to make it big. When he finally makes it big, he's with you for a year, then he dips on you and gets another chick.
Respectfully.
You're gonna feel some type of way. You put the investment.
Respectfully,
you
you can't think from a label perspective if you have no knowledge of a court-approved contract. That's what it boils down to.
That's not where you're still.
That's what it boils down to. The court-approved contract. What the fuck don't you understand?
Hold on. Okay, that's how he got out the deal.
That's the premise here. The court-approved contract.
That's how he got out the deal.
Yeah.
Right. And they have filed stuff to try to make sure he can't go.
They're gonna let him walk. They're gonna let him walk.
Well, right now he could walk, but
they're gonna let him walk, and he is walking.
Okay.
So what are you saying?
Why don't you think the label would? Why do you think the label would let him walk?
I just spent 5 minutes explaining to you.
Well,
why.
guys, it looks like Gucci Mane wants to sign him. Is that a vote of confidence?
Say again?
I'm thinking business.
Lil Pump and
You're
Gucci?
thinking other shit.
Yeah, Gucci. Gucci seems
you're
interesting,
thinking
right?
hypotheticals, and you're speculating,
It's
and
not
you're going by the
hypotheticals.
gossip.
It's not
with no
hypotheticals.
knowledge of clauses or stipulations with regards to a court-approved contract.
Nobody's disputing a contract. I'm disputing that the label who invested in a product will want to retain that product.
All right, so
no matter
Act thinks
what.
they want to fight for him. You think there's no way this is over,
It's over.
right? Let's
Yeah.
see what happens. Maybe Gucci gets him. We'll see.
Guarantee when an injunction comes, gets put in or at least filed for, I just want an apology from this guy.
Have you ever seen a contract, a record label contract?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
I have contracts offered
Your
to me now.
own? Oh,
What
you
are you
have?
talking about?
Yeah.
Have you seen one?
I was a Def Jam artist on paper.
Never put out a track though.
I took the money.
Okay. Well,
Are you signing to a major or what's up?
I have an NDA. Listen.
No. Where you signing to? Come on, where you signing to?
No.
You getting a 360 deal?
Now it's a
Whoa,
secret.
we don't do 360.
You put everybody else's business out there, but now it's nah.
Whoa. What?
Sucker shit.
You're gonna be on Twitter in a
When
year
the
saying you
ink
got
is
played.
dried,
Right.
when the ink is dried, do you speak about deals?
Come on.
How much complex are you for?
What's that?
How much complex?
I'm losing money here
Okay.
to help you.
Not me.
Yeah, I might be out here in 2 weeks, but come on.
Not me. I was doing better.
Really?
I'm
Really?
telling you.
I heard you went through a whole bunch of motherfuckers and you got down to the hater and you said, yeah, that's what we want.
And somebody from Complex will confirm.
All right, man.
it's
So
not
look,
me.
50 Cent and Ja Rule, one of the longest running beefs of all time. 50 did an interview recently with
Oh,
Big Boy
man.
and said if he ran into Ja, he would put him to bed. Let's take a look.
In 2018, if you seen Ja Rule, it's not like some on-site type of stuff, right?
Put him to bed.
Okay.
Like if you had,
You the one who brought his name up.
no,
You the one. And you talking throwing CDs.
Can we put up Ja Rule's tweets? They're too small for me to read, but he essentially says that 50 don't really want no problems, that he minds his own business, but 50 keeps calling his name. These two did bump into each other a while back and nothing happened. Is 50 just joking here? Does he really want any problems with
Can I take this one first?
Go ahead.
I know both of these guys. I've done more business with 50 Cent. And I think that this is it's silly. It's gone on too long, almost 20 years. I think that it's old, it's sad, and it continues the stigma that men of color, no matter how much money they make or how much prestige they get, they're still troublesome. I think it's embarrassing. Again, I think that 50, you know, and I want to be fair, but at the same time, he keeps it going. He keeps trying to steer the narrative, or a narrative that makes Ja Rule just look like, you know, he's just like he's just totally a whipping boy. Such is not the case. You know, years ago, Ja Rule and Irv Gotti came on my show, starring Buck Wild on Hot 97, and they brought paperwork. The paperwork it makes 50 Cent look really bad. I saw the paperwork with my own eyes. I didn't clown 50 about it. I kind of just, you know, push it to the side, but there is paperwork that exists. And I think that this is why 50 still...
Paperwork could be anything. Could be a contract.
Hang on. This is why 50 still, to this day, wants to steer the narrative of Ja Rule just being, again, somebody who's just totally beneath him. You were saying?
So what paperwork did you see? Are we talking about... paperwork is a very broad term.
How about we get 50 to come in and tell us about the paperwork?
Well, I could tell you what Ja and Irv alleged the paperwork was about. It was an order of protection that they claimed that 50 Cent filed against them. Was that the paperwork?
That was the paperwork, yeah.
Okay, and it wasn't doctored. It looked official.
Here's the thing. Even if, you know, we can sit here and speculate about what that paperwork entailed, I think it's sad that two men, and I'm more so putting it on 50, can't get past the bullshit. If you look at the Migos and the Glow Gang, they had tension, punches were thrown over a fucking chain, but they got together and took a picture and moved on. Why can't 50 and Ja Rule get together and move on? It's a bad look.
Well, I mean, if I'm hearing it from 50 correctly, this is some street shit that obviously will never get settled. And you should know.
It should get settled. It should.
Well, I mean, however people deal with that is how they deal with it. I do think on a business level, when you're now doing interviews and you're now almost a mogul in the game like 50, and also Ja is so much far removed from that, you're not bringing that up every interview like, yeah, I can't wait to see him, blah, blah. But of course, you got to understand the interview is asking 50 about that. My thing just resonates with this.
Actually, Ice Cube's son brought it up. He brought this into the conversation, and then he's sitting there fucking giggling and on some sucker shit.
And I still blame 50 because we've seen how 50 markets and promotes anything. 50 could have briefs coming out. He will beef with Diddy or say some wild inflammatory thing about Diddy and hashtag it with the brand of the briefs. It's his way of promotion. He came up in the game, promoting everything through beefs and conflict. And I think, unfortunately, especially like in 2007 when he tried to do the conflict with the Kanye, and he tried to say, okay, this is the way we're going to market this album, he finally realized the times were changing a little bit. Not because you have problems or you have issues with people, doesn't mean niggas want to buy your product anymore.
All that, I don't agree with anything you've just said, but at the same time, again, men of a certain age need to at some point just say, you know what, that ain't about nothing. He's sitting there with Big Boy and he's feeding into it, he's smiling, then he's doing the little whatever the fuck that was. I mean, I like the guy, but at the same time, I mean, he does too much for me, for my own taste. I see a thumbnail with 50 Cent, I go right by. I don't even want to hear what he's got to say.
That's so ironic of you saying that. You know why? Because, again, I know a lot of people are being introduced to Star now. Of course, he's a legendary radio personality, but...
Not as many as you think. You keep trying to make that reference, but
No. Well, I mean, some audience is different, okay?
Clearly.
You have said you're the father of trolling. 50 trolls. So if you could defend a lot of things you do, and you know you have said things for shock value, if you can't understand 50 calling people out or saying stuff to shock or get attention.
I can address that quick, fast, in a hurry. At a certain point in your life, you have to get past certain things.
Are you past it?
I'm here with you, right? Losing money again.
No, but are you past?
Let me finish the point with 50 Cent. Yes, he's a mogul. He's a guy who gets more interviews than Ja Rule does. He goes and talks to high-profile people. At some point, you have to think about the culture, as you say, or the genre above your own petty bullshit. It's petty bullshit, man. It's petty bullshit. And sadly, urban media focuses on the petty bullshit. And again, Ice Cube's son put that bullshit into the interview. But if someone were to say something about his father, Ice Cube, with regards to some past beef, he would be the first fucknut on social media to say, yo, that's some old shit, let's get past it, yada, yada, yada. I'm just pointing out the obvious.
I agree with that. But again, I think he did that because 50 feeds into it. And 50 has thrived.
Sadly.
50 has thrived on getting attention from it. I'm not too sure it works. By the way, I won't throw the shameless plug, but I'm hoping the movie he has been promoting on this circuit, I'm hoping it does well.
Are you a 50 fan too?
Wait, are you not a fan of nobody, nigga?
I'm nobody's fan.
Well, you're
All right, so just to be clear, you guys keep fighting about this. So you pay attention to everything.
He's not a fan of...
He pays attention to everything, but you're not a
rock and roll fan.
I don't.
You didn't answer that question.
What the fuck? Rock and roll is dead. What are you talking about?
What's your favorite genre? Of
Fuck
music?
all that shit. We're talking about 50 Cent, who needs to grow
You're not
up
gonna answer
and
that.
knock it the fuck off. That's the topic. 50 Cent.
Yeah, we already passed it. We just agreed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just agreed
Okay.
that hey, listen, 50's doing
He's
whatever
doing too
for
much.
attention. Yeah, doing too much.
And it's costly. It's real fucking costly. We didn't even touch on
What's your
how
favorite
costly
genre
it
of
is.
music? Because you have been very public about not being a rap
The current genre right now, I'm of the times.
Okay.
Yeah. I sent you a fucking deck. You didn't get it? Did you look at it?
No, well, listen, as long as you are, because
I'm not here on no fucking fumes from the past.
Okay. Gotta make sure, man.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure. Listen, I want to get the star in like 03, 04. I don't want to get the burnt out.
How old were you back then?
I don't know, child, man. I was going to like middle school or some shit.
Really?
Like just listen to you.
Get up to times.
Get up to times.
Get up to times.
All right, so we're going to close on a sad note. Rapper Fredo Santana died this weekend. He was only 27 years old. He had a fatal seizure. I want to say rest in peace. He was Chief Keef's cousin, of course, from Chicago. A lot of artists, including like Drake, have said goodbye to him. He's spoken openly about doing lean. He's had some medical issues, so we're not sure exactly what it is, but,
Yeah, I want to extend a sincere...
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Right.
Don't now sit here and give us a somber fucking moment when you, sir, the modern day P.T. Barnum, you gave us the greatest gift to hip hop, and that was the war in Chirac. And you put a saddle on that guy's back and you rode him in a fucking circus. Don't sit here now and give fucking RIPs and sincere, heartfelt bullshit. Don't do it.
Listen, first of all, let's be... No, there's no stuttering. Let's be clear, and I don't want to ruin the moment. Let's be clear about...
What did you refer to Fredo? No, fuck that shit. What did you refer to Fredo as in all those clips in the war in Chirac, which I watched religiously? I pay attention to everything.
You should.
What'd you refer to him
No,
as?
I'm speaking about his death.
The demon. No. Fuck all that. Trying to polish your shit up now. You referred to him as the demon. You clowned him.
Wait.
You
Are
clowned
we
him,
speaking
homie.
about how he made music and how he
Now we're
operated
talking about
music?
you right now.
No.
The
because-
modern day
hold on.
P.T. Barnum.
You know why?
The war in Chirac.
Wait, no.
Don't even sit here now and
My
try
nigga.
to clean this shit up.
Okay,
oh,
no.
now my nigga.
No.
Now it's
All
my
right,
nigga.
hold on. Can someone give us some more context?
This is what I'm saying. If we're talking about Fredo
Yeah.
passing away from a seizure, I mean, if we're going to go back to his rap career and stuff he promoted, I think that's tasteless. I'm just going to be honest with you, okay?
Right.
So you could, the same way how you could say, oh, how I covered him, we could also say what he promoted, but I think that's tasteless right now, okay? We could have that discussion any other time.
I'm here to be objective. I'm not here to
You're
fucking
right.
sugarcoat
No,
shit.
You're right, but we can have that
You
discussion.
clowned him. You referred to him as the demon. Yes.
Actually,
in multiple videos.
If anything,
come on, man. Answer the question. You referred to the man as a demon in multiple videos.
My man.
The demon's now taking a dirt nap.
Okay.
You really gonna sit here and fucking? You really gonna do that?
Are you gonna? Okay. So let me ask you one question, right? So you're saying
answer the fucking
Hold on.
question.
Okay.
I'll answer the question.
Explain what he's talking. Can you explain what he's talking about?
I'll answer the question.
Come on.
Fredo Santana, Chief Keef, and the like of most Chicago artists, they came up promoting, and they did drill music, right? So they promoted a lot of stuff that is not really in tune with most people's moral compass. Now here's the thing. No,
you're talking to the hater. We know this.
No.
We know this.
You know it. The people don't know it.
Okay.
My thing is this. When someone dies, do we bring up everything that has gone into, like, for example, when we're talking about Fredo today or yesterday, and this is why I don't like how you did that segue. Not because of me.
Right.
I could handle that.
Right.
But we're not discussing, or we're not going to focus on the music he made. We're not going to focus on where he came from, some of the stuff he said. We're not going to do that because he died. You get me? And I just think it's tasteless for you to do
Are
that.
you finished? You finished? Because multiple people died throughout your whole The War in Chirac series. You made reference to them being savages and all other names that during that particular point in time was tasteless. Again, I'm here to be objective. I'm riding with you. I'm supporting you. I got your back.
Hold on.
I got. You hold on. I got your
we're
back.
Talking about violence,
but
and
don't sit here now and do this for Fredo. Don't do that, my nigga.
Wait.
Don't do that.
My nigga.
Don't do that.
We're talking about people.
Don't do that.
Who may have been promoting violence. They're involved in that shit.
You clown niggas in Chirac that got gunned down, cut down like dry weeds. Now you're getting complex money and you're fucking.
No.
Are you serious?
That's not the truth. Most of all, the people, and just to clarify, you can make any.
We'll just let you finish your final thought on this.
Most of the people I ever spoke about in the clownish way, it was the people doing the killings. But anyway, again, I'm gonna separate that from Fredo because again, everybody mourning Fredo except you, Fredo. Actually.
Oh, I'm mourning him. I'm acknowledging him in the proper context. Sitting here with the modern day P.T. Barnum.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Are you gonna bring up his music and also the things he promoted while talking about that?
Listen.
I think that's tasteless. That's not tasteless. It's like we've lost a lot of hip hop artists.
I think it's more important to get to the bottom of why we're acknowledging his passing. Why? I can sit here and make references to all his collabos. I can make reference to the fact that he never put out a studio album through a label. I know his fucking history.
Yeah.
I know the history. But can you at least admit that you referred to the man as the demon from Chirac?
I could.
Did you?
Yes.
Yes. Multiple videos.
Hold on. No one was denying
Multiple
that.
videos.
No one is denying that. And you could.
You could only deny it. What do you mean no one?
Okay, all right, guys,
let me speak. Wait. Just last. Just wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it.
I just figured that segue is tasteless because
I'm tasteless.
A lot of these rappers, they promote things that aren't like just like, oh, holy. You could say, oh, Akademiks, you did this. And I would never do that to Fredo and disrespect his legacy because, again, when he's not here to defend himself. Yeah. I'm not going to go into music he's pushed out. I'm not going to go into stuff he stood for. It's tasteless at this time. Me and you, we could start next show off and we could go all the way down in the Warren Shire. We could do all that.
Right.
But to try to throw that in the mix while we're acknowledging someone who passed away.
I'm the hater, friend to nobody.
Yeah, but it's different when we're discussing someone's death, and also you got to keep in mind how he died. There's multiple issues there: addiction, PTSD.
He died a slow death. I can relate. I had a liver transplant in 2008. He died a slow death. It's a fucked up way how he died. Okay, that's
exactly.
R.I.P. But let's not sit here and you do this whole song and dance now. You shit on the man when he was alive.
I didn't shit on him.
All right, look,
I promoted one of the most.
Guys, I think we get the point here. Let's just say, let's be respectful, rest in peace, and condolences to his friends and family. It's not easy losing someone. Let's leave it at that for now, right?
Yeah. I really don't like how you guys did Fredo on that, I gotta be honest. Because I think he's worth
Stand on it, nigga, stand on it. You clowned him when he was alive.
A human life is a human life, guys. Like all the music and everything aside, a life was lost, and that's important. Star, all right, I think we gotta wrap the show. Season 2, Everyday Struggle, we're back on our regular schedule. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Complex News. YouTube, guys, thank you for watching.
Thank you.